Trader.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
All right, hello everybody. So no camera today. Sorry to disappoint you guys. I just thought this is a very important episode. A lot's going on in the crypto market, and I don't want you to be distracted by my beautiful face. I want you guys focus on the screen, what's happening with the markets, and not be focusing on me. We're gonna go through a lot today, but it's not gonna be too long of a stream. Let me close Telegram. Let me close a couple things here. Wait a second. Okay. Let's get this to stop blinking. Maybe I close the Discord too, so you don't have that at the bottom. And let's move this and this over 1 second. And then we've got our, there we go. We've got what we need. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, Michael. Hello, Lori. Hello, Cotter. Good to see you. Hello, Nor. Welcome, everybody. Hello, Archery. Oh, I've got 15 people here already. All right. Not going to be too long today. Maybe 45 minutes, but mostly we're going to be talking about crypto. I'm going to touch base on a couple things that are going on with the S&P. We're going to talk about metals. I'm going to go through a bunch of crypto miners that I own, and I think they're in great buy locations, and they could really take off in the next few months if crypto does what I'm hoping. So you're gonna want to stay tuned for all of that stuff. And I know, hello Ucha, I know a lot of you only care about crypto. Understand that most of the stocks we're going to go through today are crypto stocks, crypto miners in particular. And I have a large portion of my portfolio focused on them. So we're gonna go through that, and also talk about why I don't think it's time to give up on altcoins. I think this is actually the best time to be buying them, because I know I've seen a lot of people kind of giving up on altcoins, and also why I think there is a slight possibility there could be more pain ahead. Crypto fear and greed's only at 49. I would love to. I want to see it at like 30. 25. I think sometimes I do think it's still too high. This is too high. I want to see it lower. I want more fear. But I think if I could limit this, I wish I could, if I go to crypto, I wish I could limit this to like altcoins, like get rid of the Bitcoin influence and see the fear and greed market sentiment with the rest of the coins, because the rest of the coins look like crap. They really do. If we go here, right? So I posted this in the lounge, and let's do it again here. We're going to talk about Tesla, by the way. Yeah, so I posted this in the lounge, and you can see here, right? On a weekly time frame. So this goes back all the way to, 2016. They've never been this low compared to Bitcoin. They've never cross below this line, and we're right at the 78.6, 88.6 fib level, which is conveniently my reload zone. So this is where we want to be buying, not selling. If you're thinking about selling and saying, "Oh, I give up," I'm in a couple retail groups on purpose on like Telegram with some friends that are not really traders, and they were all saying the past couple days they're selling all their altcoins. Everything sucks, and they're buying only Bitcoin. Only Bitcoin. Here, down here. This is the worst time to buy Bitcoin. Look at this, BTCD. Oh, I cannot type. Oops. Basically at all-time highs. This is the inverse. So we are still in an uptrend here. And you see how we tagged the top of my channel? Look at that tag and rejection. So beautiful. We're at the top here. We're not... I don't think we're going to go that much higher. I mean, we could potentially go up here. That would be crazy. I don't expect it, but it's possible. But if I do this and we look at, if this was a coin, where would we be shorting? it's basically in this area. I mean, we could go up a little bit higher, 66 to 69. That's in the extreme. But as long as we're respecting this channel, I don't see us getting there, because staying within this channel, it would take us until December. I think that's too slow. It's too slow. I don't see it happening. And we can also look at, I don't know why this isn't showing up. What is going on here? Regular. Why is it showing as a percent? I don't know why my, I don't know what's going on with this one. Hold on. See my RSI. Yeah, see. Okay, so on a weekly, we have a divergence showing here. Daily chart still looks really strong, unfortunately. Weekly, you've got a slight divergence coming in. And if we go back to that others, this is a major support sign right here. It really is. All of my drawings have disappeared, annoyingly. Just like that. Right. Like that. So we want to see this hold. If it does break down, that's not a good sign. But this is why I would focus on alts rather than Bitcoin. Don't rotate everything, all of your, I don't want to say profits, alt losses into Bitcoin. Hello, Rocky. Good to see you. Quinn, good to see you. Now, regarding short term, we're going to go into short term about altcoins here soon. So I'll talk about those later. I'm going to do a little bit. We're going to talk about the stock market for a bit. I know you guys don't care, but we got to do it. We got to do it. Oh, you posted in the lounge. I just closed Discord, actually. So here is the stock market, right? And I've talked about this a couple times. If you do this, let me check. Are we on a log scale regular? And then we do this. Oops. You can see there's a reason we kind of stopped here. We completed the ABCD move from 2020. It's done. This was it. You had the COVID crash, and that was the end. So it makes sense that we're kind of just sitting up here consolidating. And look at how this weekly looks. I mean, this is just RSI is slowly breaking down. This is when you should be cautious. Right now, we're still in an uptrend. If you look at the 2-week, this is still an uptrend for me. I need to see this kind of break down. So we could still move higher. I still am holding a bullish bias for now, and why I think crypto still has a chance and it's not over. However, this rally is getting a little bit long in the tooth. And I don't know how much longer it can last. And you can see how it's struggling after completing the target, 6,100 target right here. Right. See that? So now we've got this struggle, and this is where you want to be if you're a long-term investor, this is where you kind of want to be unloading. And that's exactly what, I saw an interesting chart from Warren Buffett. Like, Warren Buffett didn't publish it, but it was publishing Warren Buffett's cash holdings over the past like 20 years. And he's never held as much cash in his entire investing, I don't know if it's entire investing career, but in the past like 10 or 20 years, he has never held as much cash as he's holding right now. It's an incredible amount. It's like double anything he's done in the past. Now he is pretty old now, so maybe he's not as savvy of an investor as he was before, but there must be a reason for that. And it's probably because he sees the exact same thing that we're talking about here. I'm sure he's looking at 100 other things and has a team of analysts, but that's besides the point. So my point is that if you have massive profits, this is an area where you should consider, taking some off the table, going into cash. But for now, no breakdown yet, but this isn't looking great. So that's kind of my viewpoint on the S&P. Not really much to say in the short term here. Like, we're in this range, right? So, and if we look at RSI, we're rejecting every time we come up here, just reject, reject, reject. And I've shown you guys how I trade this range with fibs. So this would be, I would be shorting up here, and you just set your stop above the highs. If we break the highs, we're moving higher. But for now, a short is what I would recommend. Buffett is DCAing on Oxy hardcore. Okay, we can look into Oxy. So right now we're just in a range. This is the Trump train we're on. Nobody knows what's going to happen even 5 minutes ahead of time on the Trump train. At any point, Trump can turn the Trump train into a Trump plane or a Trump bus or a Trump ship. Nobody knows. At any time, he can turn the train around and make it go backwards instead of forwards. Again, nobody knows what Trump is going to do, and that is why you have a market doing this like it's having a seizure. And I can see that continuing until Trump has kind of implemented most of what he plans to do. So the next couple months I can see as being extremely volatile. But for now, I'm playing this like a range. Shorting the top, longing the bottom down here. That's it. And if we break down on either side, I've probably taken profits and I have a tight stop. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's really all I've got for the S&P. I don't have like a long-term view is that we're going to top out sometime soon. We're not suddenly going to go to like 9,000. We're going to top and we're going to roll over. It has to happen. This move is completed. Now we need some downside pain. There has to be something here. Okay, so that's S&P. Now, I posted about Tesla in the lounge. I always talk about Tesla. Annoyingly, I had to close the chart that had all my drawings and I didn't save it. So I saw this as a breakdown in Tesla, major breakdown on the daily chart. This isn't looking great. And right now I have a tiny short actually on Tesla. So I am, prepared for the decline. We've got gaps down here at 250 and gaps down here at 220. That could be filled. And if you we do our fibs, right? This is our buy zone down here, 215 to 180. That's extreme buy zone. I don't think it's going to go below actually 275. That's your 200-day moving average. It might wick down to fill this one gap, but I don't see it going much lower than that without a broader market pullback. But assuming the market stays where it is, I don't really see us going below that 0.618 level. But I am in a short until there, and that's what I'm looking for. This daily chart looks like shit, and I want to accumulate down here. This is where I'm going to be buying a lot of Tesla, because again, and I've talked about this for ad nauseum for months, I expect the Optimus robot to be a massive, game changer. I think it's going to be insane. Oh, by the way, I saw the movie, speaking of robots, there's a movie called The Companion that came out. Not bad. If you're bored, consider going to see it. It's okay. It's not amazing. It's interesting the story is just whatever, but it's interesting from the perspective of looking at the future and what we can expect with self-driving cars and voice recognition for everything and robots of all different kinds, along with the consequences of said robots, because robots are just a function of programming, right? Even the AI robots, and if there could be rules put in, and you could always buy potentially, people are always hacking things like phones and computers and things like that. Imagine if someone hacked your robot and removed certain limiters that are set in the robot from the factory, like don't hurt people, and then suddenly the robot can hurt people, but you don't know that it can until it starts doing it. So it was interesting. So but look at it just from a future perspective. Don't judge it based on the story, because the story is not great. The Companion. All right. Anyway, so that's Tesla. Let's look at the crypto stocks. So first one is Mara, which has consistently over the past few months, since basically December, since it declined, has been seeing a huge increase in institutional ownership. Let me see if I can pull that up. Mara stock institutional ownership. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. So ownership of Mara massively increased. So December 2020, June 2024, we were only at 100,000 shares, and December they doubled it. Look at these huge buys. I mean, if the insiders are, if institutions are buying, not insiders, institutions are buying this, I mean, they usually know what's happening. So something to keep in mind, and that's why, that's a big part of why I'm very bullish on this, on top of the fact that I think that, you know, Bitcoin's going to eventually go higher. So on a weekly chart, it doesn't look great, right? Actually, it's almost breaking down. There is some risk here, but I think it's meant to look like that to scare people. And right now, even on a daily, it's semi-bearish. But I think this, from a risk-reward standpoint, is a great trade. And we can even, like, again, you know, I feel like a broken record always doing this. We're basically at our buy zone. So what I would do is I would buy here. I would set a couple buys. Where is it? I mean, I've already bought. I'm already in profits. But what I would do is I would set buys basically here. So you could even buy right now and then buy as we come down. Maybe we fill this gap right here. Actually, it was already filled. Maybe we like wash everyone out and come down to like $14 if Bitcoin crashes to 85. And you just set your stop below the low here. Like that's your line in the sand. So let's say you buy right here and your stop is below this low. So there's your stop. And where do we expect this to go? Let's say this is our W range. And this is our target, 35 bucks. So it's a 6-to-1 risk reward, 18% loss, and potential 130% gain. I think that's pretty good for stocks. Pretty freaking good. Not bad at all. So that's what I would do with Mara. That's the first one. Another one is, and all of these are dependent on Bitcoin. Another one is Iron. Iron, I bought, let me check. My average buy was 1026. So right about here. Not perfect, but pretty good, and it's in nice profits already. And this looks better, a bit better than Mara. Solid uptrend happening and looking like it's ready to possibly break out and move higher. And you could even say this is like this was your consolidation zone here, something like that. And you can see how these were your rejection points. Might even want to, you know, a bit more like that. Something like that. And your final target is up here at 25, which if you look at when it launched, right? So we look at the bottom, you can look at the whole range in terms of fibs. So there's 25, this area. This area is exactly where we want to look to sell. So again, same thing, you know, say you bought here and you go below the lows, $9 and your target, let's say the conservative target, you still got a 4-to-1 risk reward even if you bought today. Now me, I'm down here at 1026 and my stop would be here. And my sell is basically here. So I'm an 11-to-1 risk reward ratio for this trade. Very good position to be in. So this is another one I'm holding and I'm long on, and I'm just, you know, waiting. And I think as long as Bitcoin takes off, this could head higher. It's even doing well while Bitcoin's pulling back today. So there's that one. You guys kind of all know coin, so I'm not going to talk about it. I have CLSK. Clean Spark. You can see this is trying to W on a weekly chart. Came down here. On the other side. Trying to put in a nice W. And this one potentially could go absolutely bonkers. If we break out on the other side, up to 38, 3x. And you can see back here in 2021, it went up to basically 40. So what I would actually look at is I could do the full range here since we have this previous high. And you can see how it hit 50%. I think this next one can go up to 61 to 78. I think 78 is more likely. So then again, same thing. Long, stop below the lows over here, these lows, and we go to here conservatively. And it's an 8-to-1 risk reward, right? This looks great from a bottoming perspective. So that's another one. Hopefully that's useful to you guys. Do I have any more? That's kind of it in terms of like the mining stocks. I have coin as well, but I think everyone kind of knows that. Oh, Riot. I have Riot. I think you guys know about Riot. Brian always talks about Riot. This one's been consolidating for a while. Not as bullish. Imagine what a bear market would look like. Yeah, it would. It's gonna be a disaster. I mean, these coins don't look great yet. I'm gonna get to it, but they don't look amazing. This could have been, I mean, honestly, this could be the washout right here. So I don't mean to get off topic, but a lot of these look like they took out the lows. And this is where they could rebound. Okay, so Riot, kind of the same thing. But I think it doesn't look as strong as some of the other ones. It could go to 20. I could see it doubling. Oh, there you go. Okay, so there's those. Talked about Tesla already. Is there any other stocks I want to talk about? I always talk about this one, Walgreens Boots. Now, this is one of those where they could just go out of business and it's actually game over. But you can see how far this thing declined. And it looks like it's trying very hard to put in a bottom here. So consider this like a lottery ticket where if it can break out on the other side, maybe it heads way back up and you can get like a 2 or 3x. Or, you know, this is going to fall off a cliff and you just got to cut your losses below the lows. Maybe you take a 30% haircut. So, yeah, Walgreens, interesting. From a technical standpoint. And apparently earnings, you know, surprised to the upside. So that's good. They also did here too, but didn't move up much. These earnings look a lot better. Okay, so that's Walgreens. Let's take a look. So a lot of people are talking about gold and silver. We can take a quick look. And I wanted to show, where is it? Yeah, I know they stopped dividends, but maybe that helps the stock push higher. But yeah, like I said, it's a big risk. There's a reason it's down so far, so much. I don't know if I even recommend it. I want like the official gold futures. Yeah, okay. Look at this, just straight up. Why am I not seeing what I looked at earlier? Is my that's why. Okay. So a couple things I wanted to show. So this is silver, and you can see an S7 is coming in on the daily. That's a slight warning sign. You could be running into a pullback zone. And same here. You got a 7 coming in. I don't know why my original somebody disabled all this stuff. Super annoying. And then calculation failed. Damn, they destroyed everything. Some of my favorite scripts. I'll have to update it myself. And they also, what happened here? I don't want to show long, short stuff. Show signals, no. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so there's a 7 coming in on silver. Potential pullback could be coming in a bit. So I would be careful getting too bullish, but I definitely think it has higher to go on gold, and same thing on silver. Silver, I think you have a better chance of more upside profits. You can see my original target here, which I've talked about multiple times, all the way up here at 45. That's my big target for silver. I would love to see us get to 45, and that would be, I think that would be like that. You almost get there, 40. So that's where I'd like to see us go with silver, and where I think we could potentially go. But a 7 came in here, so there could be a potential pullback, and that could give you an entry. I like it, and I think it can move higher. It's very, very bullish on a weekly chart. Looks pretty good. Okay. Do I want to talk about anything else in TradFi? I don't think so. I think, Cotter, you mentioned Oxy. Okay, so we'll look at Oxy and then Occidental Petroleum Corporation. And then we'll move on to crypto. Okay, on a monthly chart, it looks like crap. I don't like what I'm seeing here. You can see how this is the big bull, right? And now we're in kind of bear crap land. Same thing happened here until it finally crossed over. So I'm not a huge fan of this one at this time. You could buy this double bottom for sure, but I think it could potentially head lower. I don't like how this monthly chart looks. Not great at all. I would wait and watch. See if you can get some kind of better structure, because this still could break down, but it could turn into a nice W, and then you get your move up. But for now, it doesn't look amazing. And if we can even do our fibs, right? Again, same thing. And you can see we're sitting between that 38.2 and 50% level here. But I want to buy down here, 61.8, 78.6. I want to buy down here, not up here. Oh, there's my feedback on that. WBA is going Tupperware. Lucky if they get an AQA for their customer, but I don't see a need for Costco getting in the game. Yeah, I mean, they could be screwed. But I always thought of them as like a pharmacy and not a Tupperware supplier. Thought it was like a supplement pharmacy place. Okay, Bitcoin time. What is going on with Bitcoin? Are we all going to be poor very soon? It's a real possibility. Look at these divergences. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Higher high in price, lower in the indicator. You've got 7, 8, and 9 on a 2-week. You have a 9 that came in on the weekly a few weeks back in November. I'm going to get rid of this. And now you've just got consolidation. Where I don't think, oh, sorry guys. I don't think we're out of this bear funk yet. And as long as these keep getting rejected, this RSI, then I think you're taking a risk trying to long here. And I can even show you, there is the fact about the liquidation maps. Liquidation map, right? So let's go to symbol. I like to look at symbol. So you can see this pullback was take out the liquidity. Now we've taken it out. We're starting to curve back up a bit. If I go to a 48-hour, same kind of thing. And now we've got liquidity up here at 100. So it could just be, liquidity hunting. But it doesn't look great when I look at it with RSI like this. Doesn't look good at all. But looking at liquidity zones, it looks decent. If we go 2 weeks out, I wonder what we'll see. Still loading. We will just see loading. Yeah, look at this up here. Everything seems to be to the upside. On a 1 month chart, finally, we get a bunch of liquidations down here. Frankly, I'll be shocked if we hit this. I mean, this is what Arthur Hayes is calling for, but he's been wrong plenty of times before. But right now, I think the best bet is to just look at RSI, set your downtrend line, and don't touch it until you move above it. Don't try to catch the bottom. You're probably going to get burned. That's kind of the best advice I can give. And I would just chill on the sidelines, especially with the altcoins. Be careful with the altcoins. We can look at like Ethereum, for example. Nice 8, 7, and 8 coming in on the weekly. Nice potential divergence here. Daily looks a little bit crappy, like very crappy. But I think it's supposed to scare you. You can see on the 1 hour we've got a 7 and 8 that's coming in. It looks like it's trying to reverse here. It's basically a reversal sign for me. So not bad. You could always just set a stop below the lows and take the long here. If this was the final flush, you never know how far down these flushes can go. That's why I always think it's a good idea. Try to trade the range essentially, and then see if you can hold it for a breakout to the other side of the range. Okay. 36 give or take is where I'm interested, maybe. What about the tail on Ethereum? Let's go back. Yeah, this tail here. I mean, it might get filled or not. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just stay there for a while. This could be one of those times, or it could get filled. Like I'm saying, don't set stops. Like set stops up here. So if it heads lower, you're out and you're not at risk. Just understand that when you set really tight stops, you often can get stopped out. Crypto has a habit of kind of stopping you and then going up. So just keep in mind, probably good to set the stop as low as possible. Yeah, exactly. Same thing with Solana, kind of on the other side, and it honestly looks decent. This could be a nice W, and then you could just move back up again. We're also at the bottom of the uptrending channel here, along with this resistance line. But if we count this as the W, and that the low, you get a target basically right at the top of my trend line, 320, which from here is, say your stop. Let's say you set your stop below the low of 174, and your target is 320. We'll put it under my parallel. We'll say like 314. You still got a 7-to-1 risk reward ratio. Drawdown on the downside is 9%, but on the upside you get 63%. Obviously, there's better looking coins, but you know, Solana is a stable ecosystem, so nobody's gonna rug pull you. Same with Ethereum. I mean, these are all kind of similar. And you can see how Bitcoin's trying to reverse, but leaning bearish until this RSI breaks out on the other side. Optimism, same sort of thing. These all kind of look the same. That's why I almost just want to look at the others and kind of see where do we stand. Right now, this looks really bad. So I don't know how they can turn this around. This one looks absolutely terrible, but I'm gonna set an alert if it ever wakes up again, which I hope it does. Oh, they have on a 4 hour, you have a TD7 that came in. That's interesting. This could just be like a deviation below what everyone was expecting. Scare everyone down here and then bounce to new highs. I could see that happening. So that's kind of my thoughts on the others, and that's going to apply to most altcoins. Like if others bottoms, then all the altcoins are going to bottom and follow this, or maybe they're creating this rather than following it. Yeah, so that's all I've kind of got on others. Nothing else in particular. Talked about Solana, talked about Ethereum, talked about Bitcoin a little bit, but not too much. Did we talk about Ethereum? Yeah, I think so. Looks like it's on the other side of this downtrend. Doesn't mean it can't go lower though. It's deeply in the red. Never a good sign, especially the daily. Look at that, deeply red. That does not look like a bull. Looks like a bear. So I would be careful. And if you want to buy again, I would consider in these zones. You could even nibble a little bit here, but mostly you're buying, you want to do between 88.6 and 78.6, and then set your stop at like 2,100. You know, that aligns with this guy right there. Yeah. So that's Ethereum. Do I think that it's gonna double or go to 5,000 or whatever? I don't know. I really don't. Even do a ABCD. Where is this headed? You know, up here at 4,700. Interesting. That's kind of all I've got on Ethereum. Talked about others. Talked about GC. Do I have any other coins that I want to talk to you guys about? Oh, yeah, I do. Wait 1 second. Let me check my phone. So Sui is one that I bought at a really good price. Been waiting. This is one of the most popular projects, and I've been waiting for it to kind of come down in price. But it does look like a disaster right now. So we're gonna set an alert whenever she decides to, you know, wake up. Then we can head in on the long side. But I already have some longs from down here. I think I bought at. Did they not tell me? They might not tell me. Okay, buy at 280. I basically bought here at 280. So pretty good buy price. But if it trades down to that, I might add to the position, or I might close it. If I do, I'll post about it. It's definitely a bloodbath, that's for sure. But really not if you look at some of these. Like, Sui could go down to 70 cents. It's not a bloodbath. It just seems like it. This is one of the stronger ones. I am disappointed with this one. You know, huge dump. down to 60 cents. Basically at my original buy level. This is what you get. If things go into a bear market, memes will top out. This is like an inverted head and shoulders that was confirmed. So it just looks like crap. I think if the rest of the market rebounds, this should rebound, but it shows that, you know, this is from Murad, and he's always saying, believe in something, believe in something. It's just a great way to scam people into not selling, so then their exit liquidity, which is basically exactly what happened here. So anytime someone says believe in something, I would recommend, you know, you could buy, but sell when the time comes. Don't listen to them saying nope, keep believing, keep believing. I think it's not a good decision, because it could end up like it has here. I know there's a lot of interest in Trump coin also. Look at that. See? Meme coin destruction. Just boop, dead. Looks like it's trying to find a bottom here, just like the rest of the altcoin market. But nothing for sure yet. Looks very similar to all those charts. Rune. Oh my god. The bane of my existence. It is putting a 7 on the 4 hour. I've got it in this downtrend line. I'm interested in taking longs on Rune if it can break to the other side of this RSI downtrend line. Although you could buy here and just set a stop loss at like 120. I don't see anything wrong with that. Oop, stop loss. And main target is here. So 15.6 to 1 risk reward ratio looks pretty good to me. Only 6% risk to the downside and 100% gain to the upside. I love it. I don't really have much else to say on Rune. It's just another crypto project that kind of messed up how it was being run, and now they're trying to fix it and recover it. For now, I hold a bit, but not like I did before. That's Rune. And what else do I have here? Talked about Sui. We talked about Rune. Ondo. My understanding is Ondo is one of the big real world asset players. Correct me if I'm wrong. Looks like crap though. Total retracement to the downside. Lower here on RSI. And it just looks like it's done nothing since 2022. It's actually down. So I don't get the appeal of this one. No appeal to me at all. Oh, wow. We're up to 50 viewers. Hello, everybody. Feel free to ask me questions or say something. So we went over most of the crypto, my expectations. Talked about Ethereum, Bitcoin, so on and so forth. I'm trying to think, do I have anything more to talk to you guys about? I forgot to mention about OPEX tomorrow, so you're probably not going to go below 600 much because you have all these puts. So keep that in mind. And then, of course, we've got right here, employment changes, unemployment part, and non-farm employment changes. So that's going to be big, and the market's going to be waiting for that around 8:30 a.m. Do I expect a bull market? Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, why not? But look, if it was just crypto and crypto was in a bubble, I would say 100% yes. The problem is the S&P. The S&P just looks like crap. It's too overextended. It needs a pullback. We need some kind of crash, and it's just not happening. That's the issue. And I'm worried that, you know, you could get a crash at some point and Bitcoin gets caught up in it and it pulls everything down. That's my biggest concern right now, because this has been going on for way too long, and that's what you have to watch out for. Right now, like I said, trading this like a range, and with alts I'd prefer to hold, but sometimes you do have to trade in and out. This one looks like crap. I don't know what this is, but it looks terrible. Yeah, all of these don't look great, but then I keep thinking back to that others BTC chart, right? where it's basically showing a bottom. Like this is your buy zone. So even if it looks like crap, this is kind of where you should be buying. Maybe stagger your buys on the way down. There's 7, 8, and 9 already coming in. You could always stagger your buys. You know, buy a bit here, buy a bit here, buy a bit here. That's all. Buy a bit down here, and then when the market rebounds, you can make a bit of profit. You know, but it's very hard. You got to pay close attention. Like within an hour, all of it's going to be gone. And by that, I mean like your chance to buy at a cheap price within an hour is going to be gone. I mean, you can see this one, right? So when we had the pullback, the liquidity move, they kept it down there just long enough to liquidate most people. And then you can see the recovery and how big the move it was in comparison to the majority of moves versus time. This one is 15% to the downside. It's kind of all I've got. Do you guys have any questions? Anything you want to talk about? If not, I think I'm going to call it a night and go to bed sort of early. It's 1 a.m. I like that we got 42 people. We almost hit 50. No, nothing. Okay. In that case, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. And make sure, of course, as always, try to work out. And yeah, I'll see you on the site. And if not, I'll see you here. Same spot, same channel. Next week, same time. All right. Have a good weekend, guys. And be careful with non-farm payroll tomorrow. All right, bye.